Hey everyone, this is Gamer. It's been I just want to say that I'm being kind of under stress in terms of work related because there's just some things I'm not understanding. As of now, I'm currently in the middle of making the middle of a let's play of another 3DS game called Senran Kagura 2 Deep Crimson. I'm currently up to the third story arc as of this time. When I plan to upload it, it will probably be the time I started that new Let's Play, the time I did it would probably be sometime at the start of this month. So I'll probably start the Let's Play at around, like, I don't know, I guess Thanksgiving break or New Year's or something like that. But before Thanksgiving break can roll around, I just want to get in one more episode of Season 5 before I go on vacation with my family, and hopefully I can get through this semester without getting, like, somewhere in the D range. Alright, here we go. This is Appaloosa's Most Wanted. So this episode starts out with everyone getting ready for the Appaloosa Games. While I go to adjust the volume, can I just point out that you realize that your talents are not going to be related to any of those events that you just discarded 2 episodes ago? So immediately, not even in 2 minutes in, and already Eddie Continuity gets punched in the crotch.
What in the hell? Look in here.
Scootaloo, you ride your scooter. Sweetie Belle, you can sing. Appaloom, you can do science and shit. So after skipping the theme song, they discovered that there's a suspicious print lying around, and suddenly a tower of hay bales begins to fall over. Oh yeah, and we also come across Braybird again, who basically accidentally injures himself somehow, and thus Applejack has to go and take his place. Kinda makes you wonder what happened to all the other relatives from Apple Family Reunion.
Just doing my best to do your work, Braybird. Keep talking like that, and I'll be out of a job. Ow! Sorry.
Given what Brayburn's about to do in this episode, I think he kinda deserves it. So the hay bale accidentally falls over, but thankfully Applejack is there to save them, and Sheriff Silverstar comes to reveal the situation. Who the what now? Okay, that was pretty funny. So the sheriff gathers everyone around, and we're about to find out what's going to happen. As apparently they're going to start a riot against Troubleshoot. A notorious outlaw that doesn't even have a wanted poster. Have you even seen a Western? I haven't seen any kind of Western shows in a long time, but even I know that outlaws at least show their faces when they're doing crimes. Do you think Tennessee Kid Cooper wouldn't be known as an outlaw if he didn't show his face when doing his crimes? Do you even know what he looks like? Trust me, all these questions I'm making, we're going to get to that soon eventually. So because the town is all fired up about Troubleshoot, who's an Applejack goes to help with the search, Brainburner is left in charge to take care of the fillies. And he proceeds to lock the door.
You hear? Y'all ain't leaving my sight.
And then he falls asleep later that night while the CMNC sneak out through the window. Behold, Braybird, Equestria's worst babysitter. So the CMNC sneak out because they want to know about Troubleshoot, and Sweetie Belle makes this comment. And considering that Sweetie Belle is not the smartest of the group, and when she says that this is not a good idea, you know you're doing something wrong. So eventually the CMNC come across the footprints once it starts to rain, and eventually makes it to Troubleshoot's hideout, while off-screen Applejack returns and finds out that Braybird let the CMNC out of her sight. Because Braybird is a moron. So the CMNC goes sneaking through, but they eventually come across Troubleshoot, who is actually just kind of a klutz. And I gotta admit, the slapstick is this is pretty funny.
You alright?
Surely.
We didn't mean no harm. We just need to get out of the rain.
That's some hot cider cooking in the kitchen. Doubt it survived. I ain't gonna rise to great, y'all. Awfully rude, I reckon, but as you can see, I'm the fresh casualty of an unusually unfortunate circumstance.
So yeah, so this is actually one of the positives I will give this episode, is how it tries to have the audience understand the sympathies needs of Troubleshoot, where basically he's not a notorious criminal, he just seems to be a pony that has bad luck. And as we find out through flashback, he says he has a cutie mark that apparently gives him a lot of bad luck. And he tried out multiple events when he was younger, but ultimately couldn't do it. Yes, and he oftentimes make a fool out of himself.
Right in the middle of that trial, I knew I was doing what I was going to do. Wouldn't you know it? In a flash comes this here cutie mark.
It's because of this you actually feel sorry for him, and you understand him, and you want him to succeed.
Finish my routine, because right then I knew bad luck was my way. That fire for rodeoing never did me, you know. Couldn't keep away from it. So I'd sneak down and have a look. Wouldn't you know it? Bad luck would strike again.
So this is what I was referring to before with the town meeting. Is that because nobody has bothered to look at Troubleshoot or come to a meetings, they basically blame him for all this destruction, all because of an accident. An accident. Because apparently stealing and murder doesn't happen in Appaloosa, but accidentally knocking over Hayes and Barrel, that's worthy of hanging. And just we're about to feel sorry for them, guess who the hell shows up?
Troubleshoot, you're under arrest for vandalizing the property and peace of mind of the good rodeo-loving ponies of Equestria.
It was an accident, you dumbass. Yeah, this is something that's been bothering me about this episode that many other reviewers have pointed out. The adults in this episode are infuriating. If you thought that the adults in some South Park episodes can be infuriating sometimes, this takes it to a whole new level. Instead of trying to compromise and try to understand what Troubleshoot is going through, they automatically brand him a criminal, all just for a simple accident without coming to a single understanding. And especially Silver Star, who is the worst offender because he's too simple-minded to understand the difference between crime and an accident. Accidents happen. I think Thomas and Friend even had a song about that. So the CMNC want to try... And even Applejack is too close-minded.
Well, at least I get me a view of one small corner of the rodeo. Figures.
Oh, come on now, Troubleshoes. I'm running out of mattresses.
Okay, first of all, you do have wanted posters here. So, how do you even know where he lives, or rather, what made you think he was going to be kidnapping when all he did was nothing but feel sorry? And second, hey dumbass, how about you give him a stool? And Sweetie Belle seems to have gotten better with his magic. So there's that.
Come on, Jerry. You're about to miss the hay bale monster set.
That's starting already.
Have I mentioned all the adults in this episode are morons? Because that moment pretty much proved it right there. Yes. So if you thought that Braybird was a moron, I think even Applejack and all the adults are morons. Nostalgia critic?
How much of a dumbass are you? In fact, if you look up dumbass in the dictionary, you'll find a picture of... What's up with you in there?
So they bring Troubleshoes out, and they basically try to get him to participate in being in the clown act because apparently this was the only event that Troubleshoes never tried out, and it was to try being a clown.
Come on now, deck them bells. Say what? I may be dressed like one, but I ain't no rodeo clown.
You got your skinny mouth all wrong, Troubleshoe. You were born to entertain. You got a gift for making folks laugh, don't you?
And I think this episode also teaches a very, honestly, pretty mature moral. Instead, when this episode came out, it was basically, once you see the plot points by the second act, it becomes the don't judge its book by a cover moral that, honestly, has already been done 3 times. Bridal Gossip in Season 1, Mystery of the Friendship Express, and Lunar Eclipse in Season 2. So to this episode's credit, it does better than Bridal Gossip, but the point still stands. The other episodes I mentioned did that had moral a million times better because none of the adults were idiots. Yes. But it honestly teaches the moral that even if you lose your way of knowing who you are, you can eventually rebound and find your way back. So it honestly is a pretty good moral. Oh, and even then, Troubleshoes seems to have a good time and even manages... And he even manages to entertain everybody. Until he knocks over and blows his own cover.
What are you talking about? Troubleshoes has a gift for making ponies laugh. He's maybe the best rodeo clown I ever seen. That's true. He is awful funny.
After you all blamed him for something he didn't do wrong.
He thought Skinny Mouth was telling him to keep away from rodeo, but deep inside he knew it's where he was meant to be. He didn't know how to do it.
And that right there is a mature moral. Well, and I think it's something that many people could explore. How do they fuck it up?
What she says is true. This here entertaining y'all with my klutzing, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I know it now. I didn't mean no harm. Honest. I just ain't never loved nothing like I love the rodeo. So I kept on sneaking back and making a big old mess of things.
It's not like they could have just talked it out with him and come to some kind of understanding.
Turned out I was That may be so, Troubleshoot, but you still gotta face charges for the problems you caused.
Critic, I'm gonna need to borrow you one more time.
I've got to. How much of a dumbass are you? In fact, if you look up dumbass in the dictionary, you'll find a picture of... What's up with you in there?
Seriously, he didn't cause anything. It was just an accident, a freaking accident. And as I said, he didn't commit robbery or murder. It was just a simple accident. You are the worst authority. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. And the award for worst authority figure in the question goes to Sheriff Silverstar. Congratulations. You suck!
If I done wrong, I'll see to it.
So even though the CMNC do get busted for Applejack points out the crimes for sneaking out, even though in some point to watch over me, her stupid mistakes that caused something like this, to this episode's credit, it's not as infuriating because it is more justified because the CMNC did sneak out in the middle of the night without anyone knowing. So that wouldn't have happened if Brainboard didn't act like a colossal dumbass and sleep through the night.
Y'all help Troubleshoot realize what his cutie mark really means.
And you guys never bothered to point out that you're too damn stubborn to point this out.
Ain't that a nice feeling you can take back with you? I guess he did make things a little better. It does feel kind of nice. So, we can stop this?
Nope. And you're not going to bother pointing out that this was all a misunderstanding, and you never pointed out that you guys are complete and total fuck-ups. And that was Appaloosa's Most Wanted, and I think Season 5 just hit its first dud. I'm not going to lie, this episode's not very good. It's not that the plot is predictable, because as I said, this plot has been done 3 times before, because it does have some good moments. It's been hilarious in the first and third act, and the CMNC do come to an understanding, and that we try to sympathize with Troubleshoes, and as I said, the moral is very well mature. The problem is that the journey itself to get to those good moments is a chore. The second act feels like a chore. All the adult characters are morons. Brainbird is a complete and total dumbass. And Sheriff Silverchar is just a complete and useless figurehead who's just too simple-minded to try to come to a misunderstanding. And even Applejack doesn't bother to change about her way of thinking. And on top of that, the second act just drags. It drags of stupidity that makes you want to scream out, what were they thinking? But honestly, that's all I can really say, because there really isn't a lot to talk about to even try to make this entertaining. So there are some good things about the episode to take away from, but the negatives that many people point out just outweigh the positives. So as a whole, Appaloosa's Most Wanted, maybe the first dud of the season, but I wouldn't say it's like a D or anything. Honestly, as a whole, I think Appaloosa's Most Wanted is just the C. It's not particularly bad, but it's not particularly good. So yeah, Appaloosa's Most Wanted is a C. Alright. Well, that was a mouthful. So next time, I will see you guys in... Which episode are we looking at next time? Oh yeah. Make new friends, but keep Discord. So I'll see you guys then, and hopefully we'll have a turnaround, because this was a mouthful. So I'm Slickcan Gamer, and next time, I'll see you guys in Make New Friends, but keep Discord. See ya.